Good morning. Take time, Dava. Maybe 1 minute. Then we'll start. Meantime, I'll share the screen. Okay. ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କରିଥିଲେ ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ଲେବର ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ ILO. ILO ର କେବେ ଏଷ୍ଟାବ୍ଲିଶ ହେଇଥିଲା 1999. 1990. Remember this date. It was formed on 29th October 1990. And the member is 187 members. This was an organization under UN. UN is United Nations is controlling everything. DG Kethle, Guy Ryder, General. He came from the trade union background. That's how it's very very root level organization means a person who is from laborer class trade union leader can go up to director general level. That was the intention of this point. You can mention that. And this was a specialized agency or union or organization under UN, United Nations. Its aim to advance the social justice and promote decent work by setting international standards. International standards, for example, you have one international standard is for the child labor, women employee, like uh, What is the age limit to join the work? That kind of standard, that kind of rules will be established by International Labour Organization. 1969 received the Nobel Prize of the Improving Fraternity and Peace among the nations. This ILO given some recognition, some reward that was considered 1969, and that was for improving the fraternity and good relations between the country and nations. And this was mainly structured by three organizations: International Labour Conference, governing bodies, International Labour Office. So that means all these three organizations are part of ILO, International Labour Organization. So all these three organizations are part of this international organization and considered and participated on this all decision making, all conference, all meetings, their internal proceeding, international labor conference. ILO ର ଯଦି component key structure କଣ ପରୀକ୍ଷାରେ ଆସିଲା, then you mention these three: international labor conference, governing body, international labor offices. ତିନିଟା ହଉଛି main structure of ILO. Then the function. This is something we discussed earlier. The main function is to provide the social justice and their dispute related problem, to solve the dispute related problem to the labor class, to the workforce. In any industry, in any organization, if people have some problem, to solve that, that is the main motive, main function of ILO. Suppose in one country there are a lot of child labor, or the woman employee has no leave policy, or there is no rules. So that kind of things is coming to ILO via all this trade union, and we studied one thing, that is National Commission of Labor, NCL. So reviewing that, ILO is actually recommending and suggesting new law, new rules. And the another function is they are adopting the labor standard in the form of convention and recommendation and the control over their implementation. So it means they are forming the new labor law. Just a minute. Okay, sorry for that. So we are discussing the function of ILO. The main function is to provide the social security and the facilities to the labor class, the employee base. Another function is to implement and recommend and adapt the new rules and regulations, new standard to the member state. Another function is to provide the support, help to the members, whoever are the member of that organization. That means countries. Countries are member. So providing them the assistance, the help, human rights protection. Human rights protections to protect the human rights, the right to work, right to speak, right to against the forced labor, collective negotiation, protection against the forced labor, protection against the discrimination, etc. So everyone has different rights. ମାନେ ମୌଳିକ ଅଧିକାର ଯୋଉଟା ଆମେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି. So giving the protection to all these rights is one function of this organization, International Labour Organization. And if someone is writing, publishing, research, so provide the input, provide the different help for the research and publication of the work. If somebody wants to publish and they have lab journal or magazine, suppose one country is publishing one article on global warming. So that kind of publication and research work is ILO's responsibility to help the members country members to on their publication and research work to publish something. These are the main functions. So we can elaborate all these points. So after the functions, what are the objectives? It's more or less same. What is the objective of ILO? Why this company is set up? Why this organization is set up? What it does? The main objective is to promote the different standards, different rules, different principles, promote and realize standards and fundamental principles and rights at work. In a workplace, if you have different standards, different rules and regulations, ILO is to promote that to the employee, to create greater opportunity for women. Another objective is to create opportunity for the women employee. ଗୋଟେ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିରେ ସ୍ତ୍ରୀ ଲୋକମାନେ ଜମା କାମ କରନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ ଲାଗି କେମିତି ଅପରଚୁନିଟି କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରାଯିବ, ସ୍ତ୍ରୀ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ କେମିତି ମୋଟିଭେଟ୍ କରାଯିବ, ସେମାନେ ଘରେ ବସିକି କ'ଣ କରିପାରିବେ, ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର ଘର କାମ କରିକି କ'ଣ କରିପାରିବେ. That kind of promotion, that kind of opportunity ILO is creating for the women employee to enhance the coverage of effectiveness and social protection of all. Social protection is the facility given after retirement or suppose ଜଣେ କାମ କରିପାରୁନି what kind of benefits that person will get. Insurance हो कि बाहे अलगा ଯେକୌଣସି pension हो କିମ୍ବା loan हो, that kind of security ILO is implementing, or that is the objective. Suppose after 60 years or 70 years you will not able to work. So what kind of security you will have? Your country will have pension, your company will have pension, or is there a policy to provide the loan? Is there a policy that the government has deposited your GPF, EPF, all these things? So these things are coming from the internal labor organization. They are reviewing and they are implementing it to provide the social protection for everyone, each employee, to strengthen the tripartite and social dialogues. I told you sometimes before what is tripartite. So there are three parties involved in this. So one is the employee, the worker who are working in the organization. Second party is the employer, ମାଲିକ ଯେଉଁମାନେ କାମ କରାଉଛନ୍ତି, employee and employer. The third party, another party is the government. The government is also involved, or the judicial. In case of sometimes, suppose there is a dispute, there is something, some matters are in the court. So judicial is also involved. So there are three parties. Whoever are involved are part of this organization. So mainly all these three parties are involved. So employer, employee, and government. That is what it's called tripartite. And this organization is mostly strengthening this tripartite and promoting the dialogue between all these three parties, employee, employer, and government. It's also reviewing the employment data, employment related data, unemployment related data, how we can create more employment, what type of industrialization required in the country. So that kind of things are part of ILO objective. And it's creating more. Suppose one country is having unemployment rate is very high. So what steps we can create, we can apply to improve the employment rate. So that is one steps, one function, one objective of ILO. We read about all these five objectives: to promote the standards, create opportunity, then create different social protection, and improving the tripartite system, and encouraging the social discussion, then create more employment. These are the main objective of ILO, International Labour Organization. Role of trade union at ILO. What trade union does in ILO? Trade union plays a crucial role in developing policies at the ILO. Workers group representation is drawn from the National Trade Union Confederation. The Bureau of Workers' activities at the Secretariat is dedicated to strengthening independent and democratic trade unions so that they can better define workers' rights and interests. The International Trade Union Conference ITUC works to ensure that the fundamental workers' rights promoted by the ILO. So the main function of ILO is the main role of trade union towards ILO is to provide the details, data, or the problem from the organization, from the employee base. Trade union is actually the first place they are interacting with the employees. So they are actually representing the employee in front of ILO, any international bodies, any organization. They are mainly focusing and implementing all this problem, whatever they got from the employee base to, to the international labor organization. So that is the main role of trade union towards the ILO, International Labor Standard. The ILO sets international labor standard with convention which are ratified by member states. These are non-binding. Labor standard, international labor standard. Suppose one example is the age limit for child labor. So, what is the age when you will consider this labor is child? So there is some age. Suppose a person is below 10 years or below 15 years, it will be considered as a child labor. So that kind of things are there in all country. Maybe some country are exceptions. That kind of standards, that kind of rules by ILO and sets by ILO. This ILO is actually defining this kind of rules and standards and getting the approval of all the member states. We studied little bit on National Commission on Labor, NCL. The same thing is here. National Commission of Labor recommended the conduct of detailed technical survey into the working and living condition of unorganized workers. Government of India set up the National Commission on Labor with the key motive to streamline the issues concerned to the labor force in the country and to find genuine solution of the problem they face. This commission was also required the guide to government for the betterment of the labor force for which timely guidance was to be given through suggestion and advice which could be implemented strong work condition and to ensure they get their rights. So the National Commission on Labor NCL its main purpose is to work for the labor class, labor force workers in an organization and closely working with different unions, different trade unions and resolving the issues for the labor class. We'll see the difference. What is the difference between National Commission of Labor and International Labor Organization ILO, NCL and ILO. So we are studying both the things NCL and ILO. We'll see the difference of both the things. In NCL, we have two commission after independence. One is the two national commission in the last slide. Here you can see one is 1966, one is 1999. We discussed that in the earlier class. The first one, 1966, is under the chairmanship of P.B. Gajendra Gadkar. The second one is on 1999 under the chairmanship of Ravindra Gadkar. These two national commission were set up after independence. This is the function of national commission. Industrial dispute, any dispute which they apply to resolve that. Investigate labor-related complaint, to maintain the database qualified person to serve the mediator and arbitrator. I was telling yesterday who is mediator, who is arbitrator. This is an alternative dispute resolution mechanism. If you don't want to go court judge, then what you have to do, you have to appoint a mediator or arbitrator who can resolve that issue. Will listen to you and the party with whom you have problem and resolve something. So without giving a quote, without paying your fee, legal fee, you are resolving the issues. This is as good as court. And the main another function is to different promotion of different cooperation between the employer and employees in the employment place. That means labor and management. So there are different cooperation. These are the functions. Purpose: National Commission on Labor was established by central government under the labor. And this is the main purpose of the Industrial Relations Act. Under this act, this NCL, this commission was established under this act, under this section, for the betterment of the labor force in the country. So, to work for the laborer, for the worker group. Main purpose of setting up National Commission on Labor was that the country's industrial relations come at the more organized and manner and all sort of disputes and settlement are taken care of the Ministry and Labor and report Labor Department to improve the conditions of all labor force. The main purpose is to improve the condition of their living standard of all labor force. What kind of facility they are working, they are having, what kind of problem they are having. To listen and provide the solution to them. That is the main purpose of NCL. National Commission of Labor, that is NCL. So as I told you, we'll read the difference between NCL and the International Labor Organization, ILO. So there we can understand what they does. Maybe in the next class we'll continue to discuss that. Here we have what is NCL, what is purpose of NCL, what is the function. Then we have two NCL. In the next class, what we'll study the difference and also we'll study what recommendation. So we are understanding these two commission established. One is 1966, one is 1999. Two national commission on labor so far set up in India after independence. So what they did, what was the recommendation and the first commission and second commission, we'll understand then in subsequent class. Also, we'll understand the difference. We do not have the third labor commission so far. We have only two. First one, second one. These two maybe will appear in the exam. We'll continue this chapter. We'll continue this discussion in the next class. For your attendance, please give me your roll number and name in the chat box. So I will collect from there and wait for the next update for the class in the WhatsApp group. Thank you.